Team. This is a 5-out offense that goes over principles to help players play basketball without set plays and helps them understand the basic concepts of basketball movement. Getting started, we're going to get into the transition portion of the 5-out offense. Transition will be a traditional fast break, having 2 and 3 run wide and 5, or the first big, run to the rim. We will have 2 players be designated to inbound and bring up the ball after the other team scores. 4 and 1 will be in this case. Whatever side the ball handler comes down on is the side that the rim runner will fill to. 5, the rim runner, will go corner, and 2 will fill up to the wing, while 1, the ball handler, dribbles towards the middle. The offense can be performed on either side. If the ball handler brings it up on the left side, the rim runner will fill to the same side corner, and the corner will fill to the wing. The trailer, number 4 in this case, will always be opposite the ball handler. As you can see, the spots on the floor for this offense are the top, wings, and corner. Once coming down the floor, players can interchange or screen to change to put players into specific spots. Since it is a 5-out, we will have 2 players in the corners, 2 players on the wings, and 1 player on top. The basic cuts of the offense will start from the top. Starting the offense, 1 can pass to either wing. When 1 passes to the wing, 1 will cut to the basket and fill to the opposite corner. For my younger players, I tell them to go all the way to the hoop, then fill once they cut. Player 2 and 4 are going to fill to the new spot. Fill means moving to the open spot on the floor. For player 2 will be the top player where player 1 was, and for player 4 will be the wing player where player 2 was previously. When the wing passes to the corner, the wing player will cut towards the hoop and will fill to the corner. The top player will fill to the wing will fill to the top, and the corner will fill to the wing. A pass from the corner to the wing, I personally like to teach what we call an I cut. Once the corner passes to the wing, I'll have the corner player run to the basket and come back to the corner which they came from. When the corner passes to the wing and the wing passes to the top, the wing will make a basket cut towards the hoop. The corner will then fill to the wing, and the wing that made the basket cut will fill to the same side corner. Timing is an important part of basketball. In this offense, we have players count to 2 before filling to the next spot. Holding for a count of 2 allows for 2 things: space for the cut to occur and space for the drive to occur. Whenever a player is filling to a spot, we count 1, 2, then make our cut to fill to the next spot. When we fill to spots, we try to emphasize running towards our offensive player in a straight line. This puts pressure on the defense and makes it easier to make decisions. If they stay between you and the basket, cut up to the next available spot and receive the ball. If the player cuts you off and comes above your midline or the middle of the player's body, we'll backdoor. We want to make the defense have to make a decision on how they're going to guard us. In this 5-out offense, we will also use front cuts. A front cut is where you cut in front of the defender in order to be on the ball side of the defender. It is typically used in a give and go situation. Now let's talk about making these cuts. We want to make the defense react, and we want to see what the defense will do. In this instance, the defender ends up denying him. When someone denies, we need to make a backdoor cut to the basket. We don't want to be standing or just creeping up slowly towards the half-court line. We want to be continuously moving and be efficient on our movements. The read to make a backdoor cut is seeing if the player is above our midline. If the player is above our midline, we make a backdoor cut. If not, we are going to make a front cut. To make a front or face cut, you will likely need to set up your defender before cutting. A quick jab step or a couple steps away from the ball should give you enough space to pull off a face cut. Now let's talk about gaps. One of the ways to make a defense have a hard time helping each other is by gaps. In the diagram, we see that each player is in a singular gap spot, which means they are 1 pass away from each other. Single gaps make it easy for the defense to guard. One of the ways to make it hard for defenses is to have double gaps, which spreads out the defense and makes it harder for defenses to help each other. Gaps are important to know about when cutting. Cutting isn't just about getting a player open, but getting the team open. One of the large benefits of cutting is to get the defense to make decisions and put them in positions that make it hard to help each other. Cutting from the top creates a double gap, which leaves for more space to drive the basketball. Since it will be hard for the defense on the opposite wing to come and help, because there's so much space between the ball and their man, having more space means having more room to drive the basketball. On a pass from the wing to the corner, one will basket cut and go out the other side. If 3 can, we want player 3 to attack right off player 1's cut to the basket. If not, we will have 2, 5, and 4 fill and replace. Let's talk about screening away and off-ball screens. After the pass, we're going to keep it simple and have the cutter coming off the screen, curl to the basket, and the screener coming back to where they started. We will have player 1 pass to player 4, who will curl, then fill back to the corner. 1 comes back to the ball where they started. On this screen away, 4 passes to 1 and screens for player 2. 4 will then come back to the ball and be up top. 2 will curl the screen and go to the hoop. 5 will then fill to the wing, and 2 will go to the corner. Once players get comfortable with screening, we will then add slipping. Slipping the screen is also referred to as a slip screen. It consists of an action that occurs when a certain offensive player initially begins to set a screen on a particular defender, but then that same offensive player swiftly cuts the basket, typically before the screen is completely set. This is extremely effective when defenses start to switch the off-ball screens or when the defense starts to get lazy. In this situation, 4 will set the off-ball screen for 2. 4 will go to set the screen, but the last second will slip towards the basket, and 2 will fill to the top. 5 will then fill to the wing, and 4 will then fill to the corner. Now let's talk about dribble handoffs and dribble ats. If the ball handler dribbles towards the defender, get a handoff or go backdoor. The player who makes the handoff can then pop or roll to the basket. It's really effective to use a dribble at when the ball handler is heavily pressured and a pass to the receiver is denied. The receiver can back cut hard looking for a pass, then clear to the weak side corner. Dribble ats can also be an effective way to let a player know to cut through so the ball handler can drive their defender to the basket. No 5-out offense would be complete without implementing ball screening. In this 5-out offense, we will pass and follow. We will usually do a pick and roll to keep it simple. Here, 5 passes to 1 and follows this pass to a pick and roll. 3 will fill behind the screen. If there is no play, 5 will replace 3 in the corner. In this 5-out offense, we usually designate a ball screener. Designating a ball screener will help make sure that players that are capable of coming off a ball screen are coming off the ball screen, and the players that can set really good screens set good screens. However, don't shy away from allowing players to do trial and error, test themselves on setting ball screens and coming off ball screens. We want to make sure that players get developed and have the chance to learn these skills. The last thing that we usually implement in this 5-out offense is post-ups. We only implement post-ups if we have a player that is capable of posting up. If the post-up happens, we have the player stay out. If the post player doesn't receive the ball, the post player will clear out and the other players on the perimeter will fill the open spots. Thank you for watching this video on the 5-out offense. This is a great offense to help players understand the game of basketball. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below and make sure to check the description for more info on the 5-out offense and other things you can implement in this offense to make it successful.